All right, guys, in this video, we're going to go through the technique for performing a bed bath. Now, this seems really simple, but for some people, it can be really intimidating. But either way, we want to make sure that we're maintaining the patient's dignity and privacy at all times. Before you get started, make sure you know whether you're using bath wipes or washcloths. If you're going to use washcloths, which is what we're going to show you here, make sure you have a basin with warm soapy water, at least 8 to 10 washcloths, 4 or 5 towels, and a bath blanket. If your facility doesn't have a bath blanket, you can use a sheet or another towel, and also don't forget about a clean gown for the patient and new linens for the bed. So first thing you're going to do is remove the top sheet and blanket. Just remember, never place the linens on the floor. Then you're going to place your bath blanket or clean sheet over the patient, and then you want to carefully remove their gown from the top to the bottom. Again, making sure that you're keeping them covered and protecting their dignity at all times. Remember, you may have to untie or unsnap the top of the gown before you start. Now you can start cleaning. Remember, we always wash from clean to dirty, so we're going to start with the patient's face and eyes. If they are able, you can let them perform the step independently. Then you're going to move on to their chest and abdomen. Remember, each time you switch locations, you should also switch washcloths. Pull the bath blanket or sheet down to just above their hips and wash from top to bottom in long strokes. Make sure you get their belly button nice and clean, but don't do peri-care yet. When you're done, cover them back up for dignity and also to keep them warm. Now you can move on to the upper extremities. If you have a helper, you can both work on the arms at the same time like you see here. Otherwise, do one arm, then the other. For the arms, you want to start at the hands and move towards the body. Remember, clean to dirty. So the last part you do on the upper extremities is the armpits. Make sure you pick up their arm, wash all the way around, and support them at their joints. When the arms are clean, make sure you lay them down on a clean towel on the bed. The last thing you want to do at this point is lay a clean arm down on a dirty sheet. Now you can move on to the lower extremities. In this case, you want to work from the thighs down to the feet because the feet are definitely the dirtier part. Again, we're not doing perineal care yet. So you want to work in long, firm strokes. This really helps to improve blood flow and is just more comfortable for the patient. Now remember, if your patient has any red areas or a DVT, we don't massage those areas. So just use a light touch instead. Now, when you do get to the feet, make sure you clean them very well and get in between those toes. If your patient's a diabetic, make sure you dry them well as well. And always be paying attention to any possible ulcers or wounds. Then, just like the arms, you're going to lay the legs down on a clean towel when you're done. Again, don't lay a clean extremity down on dirty sheets. Now that we've done all of that, now we can perform perineal care. Again, if your patient is able, allow them some independence here. Otherwise, just make sure you're cleaning front to back for women and pay close attention to any drainage or lesions in the area so that you can document it for your assessment later. Also, by this time, your water might be cold, so this might be a good chance to refresh your water basin before you start with some warm water. Now at this point, the whole front is done. So you can apply any lotion or powder if appropriate and put on the new gown. You'll want to lay it over the bath blanket. Then you're going to snap it in place or tie it in place depending on the type of gown that you have. And then you'll remove the bath blanket from under the gown. Again, the whole goal of this is just to keep the patient warm and also protect their dignity throughout the whole process. So now we've done the whole front, the next step is going to be to turn the patient to their side and wash their back and bottom. Now, if the patient can't turn themselves, you're definitely going to need a helper at this point. So you'll have them turn and wash their back and bottom, and then you can move on to changing their linens.
Thanks for watching another nursing.com lesson. Click the link below in the description to watch thousands more lessons over on nursing.com. Also, be sure to hit the subscribe and the little bell to make sure you're reminded when new lessons come out. And if you want to just keep watching more lessons, go ahead and click this video over here to continue learning. Like we always say here at nursing.com, happy nursing.